Hello, just going to do a quick face off today. I've got another wedge to show you. Rodgers, I think. It come to me in really fine condition. Don't think it's ever been used, don't look at it anyway. It's barely got a mark on it, like, especially like, kind of like, you know, usage marks, put it that way. Quite an old one, I think. I wouldn't be surprised if it was before 1900. It's got a lead wedge, horn scales. Rodgers, they, like, I don't know, I think they were probably very well known for their wedges. Oh, hang on, sorry. Oh, I just had to sort my old camcorder out, but I didn't realise I was running low on memory. And the other one's a Gotta. I've only had one below par shave with a Gotta, not ever, and I've shaved with, well, I don't know, lots, let's put it that way. It's definitely over 20. And whenever I sell a Gotta, I always seem to get good feedback. They were, you know, in my opinion, a very well made, fine tool. And I really like their scales as well. They always finish their scales to like a really high standard. Seemingly anyway. And they had their own style. Definitely took a fine edge anyway. All of them do. Right. I'm going to have to sort my memory out tonight. I'm going to go through things. Well, not tonight, but tomorrow night. Go through it. Oh, God. I need to put loads of soap in my eye then. Look at that. I haven't had a chance to use that charm yet, but I'm going to give it a whirl tonight. And I'm gonna give it a whirl on that Cruyff, whatever it's called, 14 style razor, and then I give it another shave. So this, hang on, let's get the box as well. So it come in one of these nice little proper coffin box, you know, like one of the real old style coffin box. Got a little flower on one side stamped. Clark Market, S2, Manchester. So it would have been made for a store basically. And I've not looked into the store, but I will give it a quick look. And it says on the blade, Clark Market, S2 nearly, Manchester. No Joseph Rodgers on it, but I'm sure. Like, and I feel like I can nearly be sure now. I'll tell you what, when this would have been brand new, this would have been some razor, like back in the day. Because the level of polish, like, look, see that? You see the little screen coming back at you? The level of polish that they got these. And it's quite common, Joseph Rodgers. There's a few marks on it. There's a little sort of strange, well not strange, but bit of like a, it's not rust, it's weird. It's almost like it's, do you know what it looks like? It looks like it's been chromed and a piece of chrome's come off and it's revealing what is normally brass underneath, but obviously that ain't the case. There's just a little bit there. So if it shaves good, I think I will give this one the full Monty. It's got gimps on the bottom only, smooth top. Yeah, horn scales that are lovely. There's barely a mark on them, barely even a rub mark on them. Like I said, I don't believe this has been shaved with much at all, if at all. Seriously, I don't. Look, there's no rust in the pivot. There is literally no homeware, apart from the little tiny bit I've put on it. Sits on the blade, sits on the scales, sits on the stone lovely as well. Really does. It's one of the best wedges I've actually sort of like honed in terms of that. It's like it wanted to get sharp, if you know what I mean. And it's got a lovely, lovely bevel on it. It's quite wide, normally on a wedge. And this, sorry, I keep doing that. And this is the Gotta box. It's quite a good one. I've had a couple of better boxes, but yeah, it's a pretty good one anyway, to put it that way. And it's just a bog standard Gotta. I think that everybody's seen a Gotta, but I really like them. I had nearly a 7/8 once, and that was quite an impressive razor. And I don't believe this has been used much either. It's still sort of got some of the gold on it. I don't think it's been used much. Like, one of the best ways to tell is rust in the pivot, I think. Like, take away your homeware. And it's, I think it's nearly got its factory hone on it, nearly. It's not even half a mil. Yeah, no, I just always like the finish of the scales. I quite like a pointy tip. I must say I'm not the biggest fan of the point there. But just the way they always kind of come down like that, always sleek and 3-pinned as well, so whenever you get the 3-pin, it's always a sign of some company trying to portray quality. Graph and Plunger, I think they were, I'm saying that well wrong, especially the plunger bit. And one of my most favourite razors is from that company, but it's not a Gotta. And that, I think I've said before, but that was the first razor, other than the very first razor I've got shave ready. That was the first I'd call proper razor. When I say proper razor, just one that I got real good, man, and it was like, wow, which is always a good feeling. Right, let's get going then. We should give a whirl first. Let's give the old wedge a go in it. Been shaving with a lot of wedges recently. I've got another 3 more in the box to get going, to see if they're ready. And I'm going to change my routine as well with honing now. So what I've realised is if you use tape on the spine, on the wedges, when you strop it, you're not eating the edge of the blade. Or at least you're definitely not eating it all over it, because I've had my microscope on it and I taped it, stropped it and stuff, and I definitely weren't eating all of it. Especially with some of the bigger wedges. Right, so when I was honing this, in my head I was thinking, do you know what? I think this meat might be one of my best wedges. And you know what? I was 100% right. That is definitely going into the box of, that's the best wedge I've ever had so far. I've had a lot of wedges, and that almost shaves like a hollow, and it's definitely not a hollow, look. You can see that? It's the true wedge. That shaves lovely. And that is a baby's bum nearly, just with that simple pass up. Even the bit that always lags. Good, man. Always amazes me. And I always keep a wedge in my keepers, so you never know. This might oust me other wedges. Always keep one. Wow. So this wedge would make a brilliant first wedge for somebody. So I might sell it as well, like, because I'm generous like that. Because it truly would. Because you can get some wedges and you won't be happy with them, especially if you've been like hollowing it and. I think I'm just more pleased as well that I could tell. I could. When I was honing it, I kept on, I must 3-4 times in my head. I thought, oh, I reckon this one's going to be the one that's going to compare better to real fine hollows and, you know, the more advanced razors basically, because frankly that's what hollow ground like true one, because they were, you know, it was like razor Mark II. Very impressed. I could tell straight away as well that's going to be zero irritation, because every now and then when I shave with a wedge, get a tiny bit of irritation. When I mean tiny, I really do mean tiny. Nothing visible or anything, no bumps, no nothing. Just feels like I might need to use a bit of moisturiser. Right, so this is a very contrasting razor to the well, what I believe is Joseph. The audio feedback is very high. Well, yeah, that's definitely going to go into the category of one of my better gutters as well, that is. Like I said, I've only had one slightly dodgy one. And a quick sort of back to the 5,000 and then back to the 12 and a good old strop, that sorted that out. That's got a very good edge on that one, it's very impressive. So quick. Oh, I ain't even finished yet, let's at least finish, eh? Yeah, very good. It's got a very good edge on that. Especially like just hone in and strop in the once, because I always find that razors get better on the second, third, fourth sort of shave, and then depending on what your routine is with your strops and everything, you know what I mean. It's like, I know some people paste their strops and they keep stropping for months. Well, at least they say they do. That's got a really good edge on that. Yeah, you could just walk away. You don't need to do it the other way if you didn't want to. But we do. And we do want to. So, yeah, so even though the wedge, that is a very good wedge, in my spot that it just don't hit as well. Ever. No matter how good the razor is. You can still slightly tell with a wedge, but I think that is just, that's it, you see. Frankly, I just don't think you can get as close to your skin. It's like, how can you really, when you're going from something that's, you know, bloody wide really, to something that's been designed to be super fine. Because if there's one razor that I can tell you is very fine edged, that's a Gotta. And I think that was the problem with one that I didn't quite like the feel of. I think it was just too fine and too wangy is the word I like to use. That is why my favourite razors are 3/4 hollows, some halves. I prefer stiffer blades basically, but thinner. So not wedge-like. I want to look out for a filly shape, but with more of a half grind and I found some old urns, urn wold, and I've looked at the pattern of them and they look very much what I'm after. So I might message the dude and see if he wants to do a deal, but they're quite bloody expensive, let's put it that way. And a lot of the Japanese are half hollow or 3/4 hollow, and I think that's why I like them, other than the steel they use. Brilliant. Definitely a good edge on that. Definitely the best wedge that I've done so far. I've shaved with a lot of wedges and I've never had a problem with them. You know, I just understand that they're a different shave. I don't know if you can hear my daughter downstairs having a tiff. She wants to use a spoon. She's got fish pie. Fish pie, spoon. She's not a toddler anymore. I want to do this. I want to do that. If you had kids, you know what I mean. Very good. There's 2 good edges there. Very pleased with them. I did a batch about a week ago. Yeah, I did a batch about a week ago. Let's just say I did 12. I think 3 of them weren't that great. I was a bit like, ugh. I was having a bad evening basically. I think I just rushed through the stones a little bit, that's what I think. But I could almost tell I was doing it as well, especially when I got to the end of it. I think my concentration was waning a bit. I was a bit tired that day, I can remember. And I could tell before even doing it. And I had the 3 that I was basically suspicious about. I didn't even bother putting them on the old video because I kind of half knew, and they were all just crap shade basically. So then I popped my new fee on out, Kaibushi, what I think it's called by Kaibushi, and I finished off. So I made up for it because I very much like that razor, and that is not getting sold. That is mine, all mine. So if anybody got a Parker 510 they want to sell, mate, please get in touch. Been after one for a long time now. Doesn't get inch stupid money. I really like the tip of the spine on them. Forget what it's called, but it's a particular type of grind. Just a tiny bit showy. And it's because I know 510 uses Swedish steel as well. Right, love you and leave you. Dinner's ready. I hope you've had a good day. Mine's always a bit better. When I have a good shave. Till the next time, I'll see you later.